Welcome back to Tied Up with the Morgans. Today we are doing something that I have wanted to do for maybe a year. Not that long. But the kids, so let me back up. The goats live right over there. And near the goats is like a little swamp, kind of almost like a tiny pond. Very tiny, right? More just like a giant puddle where water collects. And there are always a lot of tadpoles every year. And there are a lot of different frogs, wood frogs. And they make some really cool sounds. We have a lot of them. And we can hear them all the time. And last year I had the idea when it was too late. Because the kids, every day we would go and we would check the tadpoles. And the year starts off with thousands. And towards the end, they're all gone. A lot of them don't make it. And a couple months ago I was thinking, last year I had the idea that next year, being 2025, I wanted to collect the tadpoles with the kids and watch them grow. I think that would be really cool for the kids to see that. Check in every day on them. And we are going to do that. So like 2 months ago, I realized I need to start getting ready for this. I told Hannah over on the channel, Secondhand Hannah, my sister, she's always out thrifting. I said, if you ever see any old fish tanks, let me know. Because I don't want to buy anything new. Thought we'd just get something cheap. Well, the other day I was driving and I saw a fish tank at someone's at the road for free. Picked it up, doesn't leak, it's perfect. So here's the fish tank. Here is the free tank that was at someone's at the end of their driveway, right next to the road with a cardboard sign that said free. It didn't have any of these rocks. So far I bought those little pebbles at the bottom, that little aquarium gravel. Got 2 5-pound bags, so 10 pounds total. Probably need a lot more. And then everything else was just found in our woods by the creek. And I got 2 plants, live plants as well, that we're going to put in here. And I'm also going to find one nice piece of wood. The aquarium wood that you see in pet stores are very expensive. And we have woods full of wood. So we're going to find some cool sticks or something to put in here. And then we're going to add creek water. And so I've never done this before, but we're going to get it from the creek because that is the same water that feeds where the tadpoles are. And that's the one thing I read that is most important. We're on a well here, so I think we would be okay if we used our well water. But either way, don't use tap water, it just says to use the water wherever you collect them from. If you get it from a pond, use that pond water. A stream, use that stream water. So we're going to use water where these tadpoles are coming from, because it could harm the frogs or the tadpoles, right? So that's it. It seems very simple. We have a place to hold them. We got some gravel. We're just pretty much trying to recreate where they are. Now, where they're at, they don't have gravel at the bottom. They have sand, like a mud, sand kind of thing. But we are just using gravel, and we'll still add some of that as well. But you're just pretty much recreating that where you found them. Next, we are carrying the water. We're just doing this is a 5-gallon bucket, so 4.5 gallons at a time. It's easier to carry, but as you can tell, it's not crystal clear, which is what you'd think, right? You think this looks pretty dirty.
It's gone.
But this is the environment that they are from, right? And there's actually a lot of good stuff in there for them. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but this is what they grow up in. A little murky. I mean, all it is like a sand, right? And it's settling. But this is better for them than like tap water. All right. We have a nice spot here on our porch that is protected from the weather. We will need to put a screen on it. I have lots of hardware cloth. I think we'll just do something like that, so nothing gets in here, falls in, or eats them. And so we'll start adding water.
We can't keep them in the tank.
We're going to keep them in the tank.
And
we're not going to fill this with water at all. We really are going to have it so those rocks are above the water. So I really need a little more. That one in the back's the biggest one, but I'd like to bring these up a little bit more. Maybe I'll stack some of them so we can add enough water.
And we can put some. I'm going to draw in tanks.
Got an old hemlock branch, a bunch of rocks. Next we will add the water. Okay, added some plants. Now I could have used more gravel. I didn't realize how little gravel I got. Because that's how these little plants. This is actually cardinal flower, these little ones. Like Lobelius cardinalis, maybe. I don't remember the Latin name, but anyways, you're supposed to have gravel holding these roots down. It's hard to do that one-handed. The rest of them are in place, but I need more gravel. But this is what we got for now. There's a lot of them, thousands.
How do you get them all?
And these are all native rushes. I thought about just grabbing a clump of that and sticking in there, which maybe I still could do that. We're gonna try to catch them. I think this is gonna be the hardest part because the second we step near there, they scatter. All right, probably can't tell, but there are a lot of tadpoles in here. We caught a lot of the sand when we did that. I think the hardest part will be getting them out of here because there's all this sand, and maybe I would pour it. But when we pour it even into these nets that the kids have, you still get that sand. So figure it out. All right, so we just dumped in the rest. We put, I would get, say 20 to 30 if I had to guess, maybe more. Hard to keep track, there's so little in the tank. And we had more than we needed, so we just dumped them in here for now. I don't know what the survival rate will be like. I know these won't all survive, but they're not in a controlled environment. So I don't know, we'll see. This is all just, we're learning as we go. But you can see, I mean, they are everywhere. So yeah, we put the rest back. I don't have too many. I read as they get bigger, you want like 1 tadpole per liter of water. And I added 4 gallons of water. But whenever they're young, which like right now, you can have 5 per liter, which I think is probably where we're sitting right now. And we'll add more water as they get bigger. But also we'll then need to add more gravel to make that higher up, because they'll need places as they start to get legs, they'll need places to crawl onto. In here are thousands and thousands of tadpoles, and we just put a whole bunch in our tank. All right, water's still settling, but there's one swimming around there. Another one there. There are a lot in here. And they're very new. They don't have those back legs yet. So for now, we'll just be feeding them like very soft greens, like boiled lettuce, boiled spinach, leafy greens is what they can eat. And then as they get bigger, they can have something like this whenever they develop their back legs. They can take these flakes. Waiting for that to settle. I added a little too much sand, but that's okay. And we will be adding a lot more water. Might not look like a whole lot of water because it's not, but it's close to 5 gallons, but they don't need much right now. There's a bunch around here. We added a lot of tadpoles to this tank. As you can tell, there are a lot. So now we added more water, we raised the rocks in the log. Now we are just going to give them some boiled lettuce, which is boiling right now. We're gonna just kind of cut it up real fine, drop it in. They got some really cool colors on them. And then we're gonna put some hardware cloth on top. All right, added the lettuce. Got a lot of them. All right, now I'm just gonna cover that up with some hardware cloth, and I think that's it. We're learning as we go. Yeah, like I said, there's thousands over there, and by the end of the year, there's just a few that live. So we'll see how they do. Maybe we have too many, I don't know. Maybe we don't have enough, but we'll see. We're gonna give them the best care we can. We're gonna learn more. Today's just day one. We will see how it goes. So stay tuned to see this process. The kids are very excited, and that's the most important part. And we're going to give these tadpoles a good life, and hopefully we'll have some wood frogs that we can then release when we're done. We're not going to keep them. We'll just release them when we're done, or when they're fully grown. But that's it. So thanks for watching. And if you've ever done this, let me know. Give me some feedback. Give me some ideas. We would love it, because we really don't know what we're doing. We're learning as we go. So thanks, and we'll see you on the next video.